Hey guys, this is Ullery. This will be lab number 3. This one's going to take you a little bit longer, but it's going to teach you all about titrations, show you how to do the process. It's very, very useful. So with that said, I'm going to show you the materials that you need in order to do this experiment. Okay? You will not need your pH sensor or mini for this, which is nice. First thing, make sure you get a graduated cylinder. Graduated cylinder, you know what that is. Make sure you also get a funnel. Funnels will be located right over here with your other equipment for lab number 3. You also need this thing. This is called a burette. Okay, it's a burette. Be very careful with that. It's pretty expensive. They do break every now and then. If you hit them on things, they're very fragile. So make sure you're very careful with that. Okay, especially when you move up and down. This stirring rod, make sure you get one of those. And last thing that you need is this right here. It's an Ullery flask. All those materials are going to be located right here, so you'll be able to access those. Now, that said, I'm going to go through the process of what you'll be doing. There's a few things on the center table that you will need. One of those is going to look like this. Okay, it's just in a clear jar, if you will, but it's going to have one of 4 different substances in it. Okay, in this case, this is actually the Kroger brand. It's going to be marked Kroger brand, and you just need one of those. So you're doing one at a time of each of the antacids. And if you know anything about antacids, if you have acid reflux, which is when acid comes from your stomach, antacids essentially it's a base that allows you to push that acid back into your stomach, so you aren't tasting that. So what you're going to do to get started, you take your 1 tum or whatever it was, okay, and then there's a bowl in the middle. This is a mortar and a pestle, okay. That's what it looks like. Okay, make sure it's cleaned out. Put this antacid tablet in, hit it a few times, and then just going around in a circle. And what this is going to do is it's going to smash up the antacid tablet, make sure all that's cleaned off until it's a fine powder. Okay, should be easy to get fine powder. Then what you're going to do, this is your Ullery. You're going to put 100 milliliters of water, I've already measured it, into your Ullery. So in terms of solution, if you think about it, this is a base, okay, and we don't know the concentration of it. That's what we're trying to find. But we do know the volume. We have 100 milliliters of our base. And now I'm actually using my finger to push the antacid tablet into the solution. Be sure not to spill any. It's not that it's dangerous. It's just the fact that you want as much of it as possible to reach your flask, because you want to determine which antacid tablet is the best. 2 different ways to stir. You can stir that way. Okay, it's not gonna fly out. The water won't. Or you can use your stirring rod and stir that way. That's up to you. Okay. So next thing that you want to do is, this will also be on the center table. Make sure that you put back this when you're done. You won't need any more, but you want another group to be able to use it. So also on the center table, you'll see this is phenolphthalein. If you remember, this is how you change the color of a substance. So it's an indicator which tells you essentially how acidic or how basic a substance is. In this case, we're using phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein turns pink when it's a base and clear when it's an acid. Okay? So let's see what color it is now and determine is it basic or acid. And when it changes color, that's the equilibrium point. Okay? And I stir it. I'm not sure if you can see on the video, but that's pretty pink. Okay? The amount of indicator that you add isn't really important. You can see we used about 3 or 4 dropperfuls. Okay, so not a lot, but you want to be able to see that change in color. So that's kind of the significant part. You're not going to change anything; it won't affect the lab too much. So as you move now, okay, If you notice, this ring stand, this burette, doesn't have a clamp on it. Okay, if it doesn't have a clamp on it, that's a huge issue. Because if I pour something in now, it's going to go straight through. So what you want to do is you want to make sure, grab one with a clamp, make sure a student has put the clamp back on it. I actually did not. So this is going to be what you use to stop it. It's called a cock stop. Okay, all you do is depress it right in the middle. It should already be set up for you, but if you add something to it now, nothing's going to come out. So we're going to go ahead and add the acid. I'll show you how to do that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and lift the video a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. You still can't see it. I'm taking my funnel, and this is the acid that is on the middle desk. Okay, it has a concentration to it labeled. Okay, so if you're curious, the concentration of that acid is 0.1 hydrochloric acid. 0.1 hydrochloric acid. You'll need that for calculations. So I keep the funnel there and start pouring. Make sure that when you do this, it's not, essentially there's not a lot of liquid in your funnel, because there's a tendency for this to overflow. And I want to make sure that you guys don't have it overflow. And you're going to go up pretty high. You don't have to go all the way 0. I'm going to stop right there. And you usually don't go to 0. So I added the acid. Make sure the acid, the phenolphthalein, and the mortar and pestle all go back to the center desk. Okay? You'll be able to grab them as you need them, but all of those we don't have a lot of. So from here, we need to measure essentially how much fluid is in that flask. Okay? I'll be there. We need to measure how much fluid is in that flask. So you look at it, and we have, there's the numbers. We have about 2.95. Okay, so there's actually 10 lines or 9 lines between each number. Make sure to read between those, okay, to figure out the value. So last thing that we're going to do is we do the titration. And here's how you do it. I'm just lifting up the burette, and underneath of it, I'm going to put my solution. And when it becomes acidic, it's going to become clear, or white in this case. Okay? You do want to make sure that you're constantly stirring it so that you can see that change in color. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to start adding it. Okay? You can go somewhat fast to start, but not too fast. Every 1-2 milliliters, you want to stir and see if there's a change in color. Okay? Mine happened quickly. Yours will not happen this quickly because I need to dilute the solution. So, yours is going to take a while, but what you notice is it changed colors. As soon as it changed colors, that's when you want to see how much liquid did I use. In my case, I started at 2.95, I ended at 7.50. So you subtract those two numbers to get, I don't know, 4.45, 4.55, and that's how much liquid I used of the acid to neutralize the base. That's how much liquid of the acid I used to neutralize the base. Okay? Yours will take a little bit longer. I'm going to change the solution just a little bit. It won't affect your data. You'll be fine. Okay? And that's it. So enjoy.